Hello everyone, this is Apostle. This has been one of my most challenging YouTube projects, and I'm so excited to share with you. I use two different types of material in this build. If you are more interested in one of them, you can use the timestamp below. By the way, if you like this video and learned something, please hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. Without further ado, let's get into the project. A colleague of mine gave me this piece. It has quite a lot of voids and cracks, so I had to deal with those first. The fastest way to seal the woods for epoxy casting, in my opinion, is with tape. It may not work for some projects, but for this small piece, it's gonna do the job just fine. I've been using tape for a long time. I never had a problem until now. Well, if you're gonna use the packaging tape, I would suggest you to spend more time. Epoxy will definitely leak from even the smallest hole. I'm using epoxy resin from Let's Resin. A few years ago, I've seen so many craft channels using this epoxy, so I was just curious about it. The caps are exactly the same, so it's a good idea to mark them. I just use a knife. You can also use tape. It's a really good idea to use the same cap for the same bottle. After a few hours, there is no leakage. Safe to assume that I can leave it overnight. For the mold, I'll use these plastic pipes and some 3D printed parts as well. A few years ago, I used some plastic pipes to cast some concrete, but they were way bigger than this. I knew that it would be quite tricky to open the mold. I cut the pipes to the size on the table saw. Normally I would never cut a round piece like this without securing to a jig, but the blade was sticking out only 3 millimeters. There is always different ways to make the same thing. If you don't feel safe, just find another way to make it. I am using Vaseline as a release agent. It works relatively well for small concrete castings. I cast this concrete part twice, that's why you see me wearing different outfits. But the process is exactly the same. The only thing that I did differently on the second casting, I scored the side of this middle part. It's gonna help me to open the mold easier, because on the first one it came out really hard and it wasn't so much fun at all. I found these LED lamps in front of my apartment. People just leave things on the street. It's quite common in Berlin, so I was so happy to find them because I was planning to make this lamp for a long time. Whoever left them on the street, thank you. The plastic cover for the switch, it's just ugly. I have to replace it. I wanted to insert the switch into the concrete. To do that, I had to seal the plastic switch from each side. I used quite a lot of CA glue and masking tape to do that. After I stick the switch into the mold with double-sided tape, I tried to seal everywhere with a more masking tape and also Play-Doh. Play-Doh is a modeling compound. Kids used to play with them. I'm not exactly sure if the new generation plays with them anymore. Days, and I think I can open the mold. Most of the time I mix tiny bit more concrete to cast a test piece. It just tells me the state of concrete in the mold. It's an extra process, but I find it really useful. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take out the 3D print in one piece. I had to destroy it. I think the middle part that I cut expanded a bit, so I wasn't able to slide it out. It's a shame. I would have loved to use it again. I flattened the piece and cut the round shape on my CNC. I could have used a router to do the same thing, but this is way faster for me and more convenient. Router is a perfectly viable option as well. Threaded insert will serve two purposes. It's how it's gonna be fixed to concrete. Also, I'll use it to mount to my drill press to send the cutting marks from the CNC. It may not be the best way to do it, but this was the best way that I could come up with. As I said before, there are different ways to make the same thing. I forgot to turn down the speed and it caused so much vibration. Obviously it was bound to happen. I had two of them, and I was planning to use both of them on one lamp. I got this cable from Amazon, and it seems like this LED needs commands from the switch to turn it on. Apparently, only one side delivers a signal. Then I used only one of them, but I'm glad I did because it looks way better now. I made this tiny cover from the same piece of wood. I used that plastic piece that was there before as a template. Stick that with a double-sided tape to a thin piece of wood and sand it the sides. And unfortunately I lost the footage when I made this piece. It's a shame that I could not show it to you. It was so good to see everything coming together nicely. I'm so pleased with how this project turned out. It was a really challenging and fun project for me. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you on the next one.